Hamilton, just put clothes on the door.
Yeah, we'll do.
Everyone loves his amp. I've always been a hound for records. When I first started buying records in the early 70s, I never really knew there was a market, second-hand market. I just knew that I was buying what I liked. I never started buying stuff for exchange, you know, like rock and roll, which I'm not really into. I love doo-wop, but I'm not really into the white rock and roll sort of scene. Then I started buying all this stuff, knowing that I could take it up to London and exchange it for stuff I liked. But really what inspired me more than anything else to start a record shop was people like Jim over at Canterbury Rock, Steve, Malcolm and Robin Davis from Funhouse Records in Margate, and Honest John's in Portobello Road. To me it was mind-blowing going into Honest John's, just past the viaduct, right at the top of Portobello Road on the right hand side. I suppose 1981, 1982 I had the idea that I'm really going to do this. Before 1982 I was buying American overstocks in East End London, Whitechapel Road, Commercial Road, Mile End Road, which you could buy then. Minimum American cutout LPs was 100. They were 12 pence each with tax. So we got there, my brother Tony, by 1,000 at a time. The markup was colossal. You could buy them for 12 pence on the day and sell them in London for £5 a record, you know, and so it was encouraging, you know. This is before I had a shop. And also then I started to take rock and roll in, exchange it for stuff I wanted. So that's what really got me into the idea of this value in records. Because I took some records up there one month, next month I went up there, some of the stuff I sold the guys on the wall. You know, he'd give me £1 and it's up there for 15 quid. Well, £15 then was 2 weeks' wages, you know. So it's quite a bit of money. So then I realised, oh, there's money in records. And Hal was always, he had a record collection by the time he was 3. And he had his own kind of mixtapes by the time he must have been about 4. But he was spinning his own records at 3. You know, so for most people, it's way ahead of me. Because I know I was dancing to records before I could actually walk. You know, I was so inspired by music, I was dancing before I could walk. Just holding on to the radiogram, you know, and bopping up and down, doing that little thing kids do. I've always been attracted to music, first through dance because it made me bop about, and then through just pure entertainment. I remember buying singles as a kid, you know, because I was from a working class family. A single really meant something. I couldn't afford an LP, LPs were too expensive, so you bought a single and you played both sides, and maybe all day. You know, even if you didn't really like it that much, you just wore it out because it took you somewhere. One of the best records I ever found recently was, and I've always been looking for it since about 1990, was Charlie Parker's first 10-inch LP. Because I'm an absolute modern jazz fanatic, and Charlie Parker to me, you can take Jesus Christ away, put Charlie Parker there, because he's actually God to me, Charlie Parker. A woman came in out of the blue and said to me, I've got some records, do you want them? And in there was this Charlie Parker 10-inch, which I've actually sort of fantasising over since about 1990, and this woman just comes in and gives it to me. It was a pretty shot copy, and the cover's a bit rough, but I've never seen it since. I don't think it's ever come up for sale, and that's the sort of thing I love. You know, I love 78s, or gramophone records, and then another time it was a jumble sale around the girls' school in Chatham House, and I bought this huge stack of gold London, gold Parlophone, Decca Columbia, all the kind of top names of all the things, and they were 5 pence a single. 5 pence. But it's all different now, because you can price stuff up with the internet, through Discogs, through Roots Vinyl, Collector's Frenzy, and PopSite. These are 3 sites where you can check the prices of records you've got that have already sold. You couldn't do that before. I'm into modern jazz, so when someone brings me some modern jazz 78s, EPs, LPs, you know, a poster, tour program, magazine, I'm made up, you know. This shop has been open since 2014, mainly because of my thirst and love of records, basically. What really sprung me personally into fanaticism of records was psychedelic music. Listening to certain music inspired me really to just get further into music basically because of what it was doing, the reaction. You know, I was looking at Island, sort of Treasure Island music, or Island Vinyl, and because there's Island Records already, you know, Chris Blackwell's label, I couldn't say Island Music, I couldn't say Island Vinyl, I couldn't say Island Records, but I love the idea of an island. You know, Thanet was an island, it's still called an island, and everything I've got is old. I don't sell new stuff, I don't do any new releases, and I don't know really, you know, because everything is of a vintage, you know. I've never seen the shop as having a personality, you know. I've always, it's just grown. I'm thinking at the moment where, you know, it's just started. I might take another shop, might expand. So I'm thinking, might go down the road, get a big shop with 2 floors, have a cafe. I've got so many records now, I can't get them all out. So I need a bigger shop, basically. You know, I don't mind moving. I've always had the inspiration just to move off somewhere else. It's never sort of hindered me thinking, oh, I've got to move. I don't care, you know. So this is actually the best shop I've ever had, as far as size, security, and it feels good. You know, it does feel good. I'm only in it for the records because that's what I love. You know, that is really what I love.